Okay, it's working. Just move this out of the way so I don't get questioned about that. It's just hanging light. But yeah, actually did one. If you're wondering about my location, this is actually my room, my actual room I grew up in, and it's actually my kind of like my first time actually live streaming in my room. Well, I had blankets right here. It's a marker spilling everywhere, but yeah, I got. If anyone wants to know what that is, it's a pig. It's a pig. Anyway, like it says in the title, about Autism Awareness Month, I'm gonna explain some things about what it is and how it affects in the community and all this kind of stuff, and what my personal experience of autism, just how it is in the community. That wasn't ringing my ear for a sec. So, for a long time, I knew about autism because I don't want anyone to treat me any differently than what it is, but this is kind of hard to say first time on the stream. I actually told some people before about it, and they were like completely fine with it, and they just treated me normally. And even though that I had these kind of like problems of dealing with it, which I do have a lot, but I've been finding a lot of positive things able to do, and that's okay. It's a cubby. Cubby, you know you're not supposed to be coming from there. Give me a sec. Cubby. Cubby. Yeah, you better move. Silly cat. That is one silly cat. Where was I? Yeah, I told some people about it. They were fine with it. But also, can anyone hear me? I'm just checking the mic. But having, I told people about this before. They understood me of how I felt, and I have support. I had people that support me, and it's kind of, let me tell you, it's a massive pain in the butt. But related to this month, I also have autism. And my experience of having autism is just a roller coaster. It goes up and it goes down, and it goes up and it goes down. It's a little difficult for me sometimes, but I do manage to do it sometimes, but sometimes it'll be like a little bit difficult, sometimes it'll be like not difficult. Like, if somebody's trying to explain something to me, I'll be like, what are you talking about? Like, I'll be like confused. So, first off, before actually you guys are like, what does that have to do with autism? Let me explain what autism is. Autism is the way how the brain is affected. Like, for example, there's different people that have speech difficulties, like me. Like, they have a hard time speaking. While me, I actually have, for my speech, is I have a way, where I like stumble upon my words. Sometimes I'll go and stutter. What's another thing? Oh, loud volume. Yeah. My volume can easily get people really mad because my brain's like this. So everyone's brain's like how you know how to lower your volume in a building. My volume, it's like if everyone has a button in their brain, like it tells the brain to be quiet when you're indoors and be loud when you're outdoors. Thank you for the nice comment. T-Man78 said it's okay if you have autism. None of us will judge. I have OCD and bad anxiety. It's a common thing. I know how like your brain like having like issues. It's a little bit hard sometimes, like how the brain acts. But like I said before, like the button thing, my so my brain will easily confuse or outdoor pretty easily and be like, "Are you kidding me? I'm inside." Everyone's telling me to quiet down when my brain's like, "Oh, we need to be loud." So yeah, that's one of my problems. It's hard to deal with. Another thing is for me, I have a little bit of difficulty understanding things. Like if somebody tries to give me an instruction, I like need to like get it explained thoroughly. Because like if somebody says you have to put something over there, I don't understand where you want me to put it. Like over there means anywhere. Like let's say you tell me to put a book back on the shelf. What shelf? Where you need to let me put it back. It's hard for me to understand, people. It's hard for me to understand. But yeah. Another thing I have, my problem is I have this one problem where I will go like this. I'll get like super hyper, and I'll just like shake my hands like crazy. It's part of my habit I had since I was a little girl. And it's kind of like hard for me to, like, I don't know why I do that. I know I get hyperactive, especially when I watch too much anime. I am obsessed with that, so I get too much.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
nobody heard that. Please. What?
Don't be yelling.
I'm not yelling.
Yeah, you were.
And don't say my name, please. I'm on live stream. You should next time, like say hey or call.
Like that, you're gonna be looking like you get back to your live stream.
That's not at, okay? Okay? Just don't let anyone know my real name. Because I'm scared. What will people happen if they hear my real name? Just hoping nobody heard that. Anyway, well, the one thing problem is with the house I live in, it carries a loud voice. You didn't hear my real name? Thank goodness, thank you. Okay, so let me get back to what I was saying before. What was I saying? Oh, that reminds me of that. Like if I had something like, it's hard for me to like understand some things, and that is another thing. Like I said, like sometimes I have problems of remembering things. Like if somebody told me like something earlier, I'll be like, what were you talking about? Like just happened just a second ago. Like I will not remember what people are saying sometimes, and that's problems with me being nosy, and it's just like a pain in the butt. And another part of my autism is I have this problem of attention seeking. Like somebody said before in a comment one time for my video, I have this problem of attention seeking. Well, it's not my fault. I just drew something and just like. So yeah, I'm like, why? It's not my fault. I just didn't know that would happen. But there is like other people like me, and it's like for example, so I'm not gonna actually gonna say this. I'm not gonna say the person um actually knows somebody um well, I know some people that have autism, and it's really hard. Like, it's rare for me, because the weird thing is, to surprise you, I'm actually a twin, and it's actually rare with twins to actually have autism. So it's kind of like it's pretty rare, and so it's important to be aware of people that have autism, like if they have like a certain way. So like I remember a story my mom told me. When I was younger, I always wanted to sit in a blue chair. I didn't know why. My mom told me this story, and one day I had a fit because I didn't sit in a blue chair. I just still don't know why I did that. It was just part of what I felt like. And sometimes my autism will cause me a little bit of trouble. Like, I'll get in, caught. Like, sometimes for people with autism, they will have like little emotional breakdowns, and like people will just look at them like, what's going on with them? Like, it's like bad. Like, let's how can I explain this? Like, if somebody, like if a little kid like singing in the blue chair, and all of a sudden they don't have the blue chair, and the kid's like throwing a humongous temper tantrum the rest of the day, it's like really bad, and the teachers have to take the child out of the classroom. It's that bad. But like I said before, autism is varies between, like for example, I know some, I'm not gonna say any names, I'm gonna come up with a fake name. Call this person Trish. Now Trish had a little bit of issues. She needed she had a little bit of speech difficulties like me, but her wording was really like a little bit like a little bit hard to understand her. So instead of just people like going like, huh, what's going on? She was paired up with a special device to help her speak, and it helped her throughout all the way through high school. Another person I knew until she was diagnosed with autism until we were older. The way she did things, I'm gonna call this person Amy. She had a little. She was just like a normal kid until she was diagnosed with autism. I don't really remember much about what was going on, but we were very close friends until we graduated. But there is like, for example, like I said about autism before, it's hard to actually detect it sometimes, especially at a young age. But for me, the way I was diagnosed with autism is my speech difficulty, like I mentioned earlier. And when I was little, I went ducka 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 when I was a little girl, and my parents were like, something's wrong, and they knew that because every child is supposed to speak at a certain age. My speech was delayed, so they took me to a speech therapist, and they were able to get me to speak, and now I cannot stop talking. I don't know why. Wait, where's my water? Like, is it over here? Where is it? I put that water. I did a video earlier and I can't. Found it. I'm sorry. I just laughed at that. That was funny. You were sitting in the blue chair. What? I was mentioning about blue chair earlier. How is that convenient? I don't know. Yeah. But what was I talking about just a second ago? Okay, I was looking for my water, and I was talking about speech. Yeah, my speech was delayed when I was younger, and also the doctors when I was born diagnosed me with autism right away. But sometimes when you have autism, it's hard to detect it from a young age to probably more to an adult. And sometimes if the kid's not diagnosed right away, they will easily have problems as well. I'm not gonna say anything else about anything personal, but it can be a little difficult for that person to actually figure out what's going on with them, and it can be a lot of problems for the parent. Believe me, I know. But this is important for a lot of people to understand that this is why this is awareness month. April's usually Autism Awareness Month, and this is where we tell people being aware about understand and how they communicate. Like, remember another student I know, Lloyd. Now Lloyd had autism like me, but he had a little bit of anger issues. And what he did was put on the board how many days he was without anger. And if he was angry, like extremely angry, then he would reset it to 0. Like, I knew anger was a little bit a challenge for me as well. I got in serious trouble when I was a kid for that. But anger can easily like anything that will like trigger us, like if like we have like a certain way of things we do, and it's difficult for actually a child to understand what's going on in the world. So I'm gonna pull out some things from my childhood what I remembered of when I was a kid, of things what I did. But first, there are different levels of autism out there. So, like for me, I have the highest level of autism, which means I am more independent and I can act more like for example, I'm right now an adult. I have more capability of understanding things more, doing tasks a little bit better than what I'm doing, but I still need a little bit of help, like understanding things a little bit. The lowest, I think the second level. Well, I'm actually trying to understand. There's like different levels of it, but I don't actually know what they're called. But I think I'm gonna go high, low, medium. High, medium, low. So medium is like they still need a little bit of help, but they're doing the same thing. Like they're in between. They're more needing help. Like for me, I help, but not like a lot of help. And they can like it just helps out a little bit for them to actually have a little help, and it's a good thing that if you're like have awareness of what this person's going on, it's a good thing to have like support around you. I actually know something that I did with something that I did in school, but we're going to go back to that after I explain the high, medium, low. The lowest is where somebody can like they need more help than normal, and it's can be pretty annoying. Sorry I have to say that, but they need more help than anyone else out there. It can be a little bit more confusing for some people, like if like for example, like your speech, like you can't talk properly, you have to use a special communication device and get a lot more help with some things like reading, writing. It can be a lot of challenges. Autism can be challenging. Another okay, so let me go back. So let me go with what I went through for my childhood to high school years. So I remembered when I was a kid, like for example the blue chair story. I just still don't know why I did that. I just don't know what ran through my mind when I was a kid, but I always sat in a blue chair when I was a kid. And I outgrown it. Yes, glad they dedicated to autism. But I remember this one system I remember was a point sheet. And I was given points for how well, and I'm guessing I did not do really good because I remember sometimes I would be causing a lot of trouble for myself. And what happened was if we get a certain amount of points, we get a reward. And Cubby, I can hear you. Hi, you silly cat. You sick. Hey, Cubby. Cubby, get down. Cubby, get down. You know you're not supposed to be up on the net. Come on. Come on. Cubby. Come on. Get down. Oh, careful. Careful. Okay, I'm back. Okay. So, like I was talking about, the point sheet of getting rewards, it was trying to kids rewarding good behavior with autism instead of rewarding bad behavior. And I remember a few rewards I got was able to play on a iPad for a certain amount of time, play on the computer for a certain amount of time after school, like before school ended. Or going out with the little kids, like hang out with them. There was another one. Which was it? I don't really remember much. But there was actually a lot of ups and downs of having autism. Like there were some bad days, like real bad days where I had to be pulled out of school. And it was just like a lot of craziness. Another thing I did was in high school we had a special program called Peers in my middle school years, And when I was in high school years, it was called Links. Now, what this program was, where students get to help the autistic students, like how they can go through day-to-day lives and show how people show how the certain student does things, but helps them out. Like it was an extra credit activity. They did not get their grades lower from that. They some people actually enjoyed it. It actually helped them a lot through the years, like how to actually help people out. So I've been in that program since, let me think about it. I think we start it in, I know it was in my middle school years, but I need to remember what grade. Sheesh, I don't even remember that. My middle school years were crazy. That was before I became a weeb. Well, a weeaboo. And yes, I did test myself for being a weeb. But I was actually pretty thankful that I was able to meet a lot of people that wanted to understand autism, and that it was just not like some kind of like weirdness kind of like thing. But some people actually sometimes will mistaken it as like some kind of disease or something. Autism is not a disease. Autism is actually a disorder. It's how the brain functions. And that actually reminds me, speaking of brain, a lot of things I used to do when I was younger, growing up, don't think it's stupid. It was stupid, but it might think people that think I was just mentally crazy. I used to bang my head on a lot of things. Bang my head on the walls, the table, the floor, lockers. Bang my head with a hammer once. It was just like mentally crazy. I don't know why I did that. I still don't know why I did that, but I still do something. Like, I do that sometimes, but not as often. It's part of being grown up. I hate being grown up though, but it's part of it. I like it though. And yes, I am a little bit crazy. I am my own mental. Okay, I should have done it. And it makes me look like I'm cuckoo. I am cuckoo. Yeah, that's what my autism does to me. Another thing is for my autism, I get really fidgety, like if I'm allowed to play like with something with my hands or something. It can be like a little crazy. Let me go back to the links. So sometimes links people actually would help people like the autism person to calm down, and it helped. It's like a help buddy. Like if they know like something's going on with them or they're having a bad day, they'll like take them out and talk to them. I actually remember one time I actually got scared by my link because I was like I needed to go to the bathroom and she suddenly yelled at me. I'm like, what did I do? I started crying for no reason. And she's like calming me down because I didn't know what I did. I didn't even. I don't even remember much of that day. But I remember the crying part. Titus! You're okay, bud. Stop growling the cats. But yeah. Another link story I have is this is not what you're supposed to do in school, guys. Don't bring a vape to school. A big understanding. No. So I was just sitting in my class. I was just doing my work, and all of a sudden I hear this clunk, and I'm like, what? And I felt with my foot, like, what is that? And I put my hand underneath, like, shoot, what is that? I quickly bring it onto my desk, holding it like this, and I'm like, put my hands up, because I did not know what to do. I had it right on my desk, and I don't vape. Just to tell you guys this, I don't vape. So my thing's like trying, like, calm me down, trying to get the teacher over here, and I'm like, it's not mine. It's not mine. It's not mine. It's not mine. Like, I was panicking on what to do about the stinking vape. The teacher finally got it out of there. Because it just only took like a few seconds. What did you expect me to do? Well, like, teacher, I found a vape. I'm gonna smoke it. Nope. I did something more crazier. I put my hands up, like, surrendering, because I did not know what to do about the stinking vape. It was a vape. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of times autism will like do like certain things because how the brain works, it makes the person do like certain things. Like for me, I get super hyperactive when it comes to anime, and if I have too much sugar. It's like any kid's problem of having too much sugar. But if you have a kid with autism, it's a different story. It's like, oh shoot, we gotta hide the sugar. Yeah, I actually remember being too much hyperactive on Halloween for that. That is super funny. But there is actually some things people can do. There is actually some famous people that have autism, but I actually don't know which ones. Hang on, let me pull it up. Just try to help out. Famous. I don't have this prepared in advance. Famous people with autism. Albert Einstein had autism. Anthony Hopkins. Tim Burton. You know the guy that makes those amazing films like Frankenweenie, The Corpse Bride. Yeah, it says right here he had autism. And there's like millions of other people out there who has autism. And they do amazing work. Like, whoever is a Tim Burton fan out there, like, you've seen his work. He does amazing work of all this amazing stuff. Because not only autism has some kind of, I'm gonna say like bad negatives, there are some good negatives of it. And there is some good outcomes for that. Like, for example, even though that like for hang on, let me drink some water. Like, for example, my videos on my YouTube channel of me drawing. That is actually my way of trying to like coax my autism away from like having like this all rush of activity, like trying to like calm down. It's like another way of me having my attention seeking problem like go into like a positive way. Like I did not expect, for example, for that video to actually hit so many views, to able to become that really popular video. And it's just like amazing that so many of you support that video. I'm just hoping to make more videos. I'm hoping to do more animation. I'm hoping one day I'll actually become a voice actor, because I have like this one thing with my vocals where I can actually go like deep, like, are you really kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? To like a higher tone, like, but right now I'm right now in kind of like college ish. It's actually in the place I go is like an institution where people that have special needs go. I'm not gonna name the place because I am protecting the privacy, but it's a special institution where people go and live like a college life a little bit. And it's still kind of difficult for me to actually give me a sec. Fit in campus a little bit because of my attention seeking and being nosy. But excuse me, I had that weird taste. But having this opportunity for me to go to this campus is a positive for me, because a lot of people that have autism don't really get a real chance to actually go and have a job. But there are some places that are actually special needs accessible, where people just like me and so many other people with disabilities can go and work or can go to school. And even though that I don't really like government, I'm gonna say that I'm kind of happy that there are actually people out there that are taking their time and helping these special needs people and doing all this kind of stuff. I remember being in so many resource classes when I grew up. Speech therapy. It was just one of those days where I have to live with this disorder every single day, without fail. Just because I was born different doesn't mean you have to treat me any different. I'm a being too. And some people don't actually understand why this, to be aware about this disorder. That's why April is actually Autism Awareness Month. And I know some content creators, I know that because I knew them growing up, and I seen some pretty good content coming from them. And like, you always have to be aware of people that have like disabilities. Like for example, let me say this, like some people don't know this, but Jim Carrey, if anyone knows who he is a famous actor who did Dr. Robotnik, aka Dr. Eggman in Sonic 2, or when he did The Grinch and How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The way he did all these actions and everything, because he is dyslexic, it's where somebody has a hard time reading, it's like all scrambled for them. But he does an amazing job of how he, like, even though sometimes he'll like do his own little thing, even though he's reading his script off and he does his own little thing, he's just trying to express the character more, like how a character would act, how they would do it. And that kind of reminds me a little bit of autism, like how the brain functions and everything. Because dyslexic and autism are, I think they're both a brain disorder. Well, I think, I don't really know, but the it's like how autism is a person behaves, and it can be pretty annoying sometimes. It can there's always ins, outs, upside downs, inside outs. There's always positive and negatives to having it. Nobody actually knows how autism came to be, but it's here in the world. It's like how we are. Like, we don't know what this disorder does to some people. All we know that it affects the brain, like different parts of the brain. And there's always positives and negatives about that. Like, for example, my creative side of my brain pops out more, and that's where all my drawing skills come from. And like, there's always something that autism can easily do for somebody, like positives, and sometimes it'll be negative. Sometimes it'll be like there's always a trigger. Like I was saying about before, famous people, like we had to search them up for a second. Albert Einstein was known for being the smartest mathematic person ever. Not because he had autism, because he loved doing math. Or Tim Burton, how he does his movies. Like, his creative brain created all of that environment. Like how the Court's Bride went. Like how the eerie everything was. Like how the eerie background. How the story went out. it was his part of his brain, his creative brain, that was triggered by autism. And I think it's one of those things that I had to deal with all my life. For me, it's, like I said before, it's a roller coaster. I never know what's going to happen next. One day I'll be sad, one day I'll be angry for a certain amount of time, or longer. And I feel like now this live stream is acting like a therapy for me. Autism, for me, is a roller coaster that I'm still trying to understand. It's part of my day-to-day life. And I'm glad that there's some people out there that understand how people function this way. There's actually some good people out there that don't treat you for it. Like, I remember when I was younger, I did not like a certain thing, and I got bullied for it, and I just grew up and never got bullied about it again. Even though some people call me annoying and hate me for being this way, it's not my fault. It's how my brain functions. I'm gonna say this right now. If you guys don't like how I am, why about you just leave me alone? Because this is not my fault of how my autism works. And sorry right there, just last year, beginning of my college life, to end of the second trimester of this year, somebody said that I was annoying and they hated me for it. Some people will just hate you for being the way you are. It can be sometimes hurtful and it can be very emotional to the person. It's like somebody stabs you in the back with tons of arrows. And it can be questionable. Autism, for me, like I said before, is an emotional roller coaster. It has its ups, downs, loops, and everything. There's positives and negatives. But if some people would take the time and learn how people function, it can help a lot of people out. So next time, if you see like somebody having like a breakdown or something, they're trying to cope with their autism or another disorder. Because it can be or disability, it can be emotional roller coaster for them as well. But yeah, it's can be crazy, can be mental, physical, emotional. I just for even though that I don't upload as much, but thank you guys for sticking around and having this support my channel makes me happy. And I'm just hoping one day I'll be a really good YouTuber. And I'm hoping to fill out my dream for that. Even though that I have problems, I'm not gonna blame you guys on it. Just letting you guys know that sometimes I'll just have that need that push sometimes of myself to dedicate myself on a certain video or something, or it to remember things. I just hope one day that there'll be people out there to understand more and maybe share this video about having experience, like send it out to other people that have this autism, like share out to tell people that I'm here for them, that they can know that there are some other people that are going through the same kind of struggles and everything, and to know that that there is people there for them even in their lowest moments. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this live stream. If you guys like the stream, hit the like button and comment down below. And if you guys want to see more of me drawing or have a request, make sure you subscribe to the channel, Lady the Hybrid Girl. And I hope to see you guys sooner or later from our live stream.